All right, injuries that we had Stiggers. He has a hip being evaluated. Cam Jones, he has a hip also. He's been evaluated. Same thing with Garrett. All right, so Garrett had a couple of things that happened in the game. He went back in the game on one with his hip, and he came out again in that same situation. So I'll figure what that is. Disappointing game. Man, I thought our guys fought their asses off. Obviously wasn't good enough. It's tough being close. At some point, we gotta finish one of these here, and that's been something that we talk about how we finish, and we didn't finish the way that we needed to go and get this win. Give those guys a lot of credit. Defensively, they were all over the place when it comes to their defense. But I thought our defense played well. This is probably our best game, our defense. Guys, a takeaway. I think we were on the better end of the penalties, which is positive on both ends. But offensively, I mean, they gave it to us, and we all saw that. I don't know how many yards we averaged per rush, maybe 3-some yards a carry. I know we ran the ball quite a bit. Our passing game was non-existent, and that's something that we got to get better at. Those guys did a really good job of pressuring our quarterback, and they are a team that pressures quite a bit. So we knew that going in, and it was tough. It was tough. So, but there were a lot of good things from a defensive perspective, from a special teams perspective, that we're going to build on, and man, we're going to go back to the drawing board and get some things cleaned up on our offensive side, and get ready to go to the next game. So. We put ourselves in this hole, we're 0-6, and we claim that. But we're going to continue to work and get better. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. All right, any questions?
How do you process being 0-6? Like that, I imagine this is not something you foresaw.
The same way I processed it when, I was in Detroit and we was at that. It is what it is, and you got to keep working. And no one's going to feel sorry for you. So, and same with a lot of these other coaches that I've talked to that was in this situation, same thing. So, it's not like this hasn't happened to other teams before. We have to keep fighting our ass off, and we got to keep building on the positive that we've shown and keep working.
I know you like to watch the film before you fully evaluate, but passing game at minus 11 net yards, I think.
That speaks for itself.
But Justin in particular, did you feel like he was hesitant to throw the ball?
I want to see it. I will say this. When you have a team that pressures that much and play that much man coverage, sometimes you just got to give you guys a chance to win a one-on-one. Again, I don't want to just, stamp that, but I would think, because the way they play, and I know how Vance calls a game, that sometimes you got to give you guys a chance in those one-on-one situations.
Can you tell us what happened at the end of the first half with not running a play? Just
Yeah. So I knew we were getting the ball back, and I think it was like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. And at that point, we didn't know if we got the first down or not, because I know one ref was saying yes, no, and was no. So once it got the 4th down, guys, I'm not about to sit there and try to get a playoff, and they will get the ball back. And I think they had a timeout left and give them a chance to kick a field goal. I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. So let's just end the half, we get the ball back, and see if we can get a chance to score.
Do you think you showed enough urgency on that drive, even before that play happened? I think it was, you had the ball back with 3 minutes left. Do you think there was enough urgency altogether on that drive?
On the last drive?
The first half, the last drive of the first half.
I think we did show enough urgency. The thing is, I knew that we were getting the ball back, and we talked about this as a staff. I want to put us in a situation to where, man, let's go and let's try to get some points. At halftime, and we get the ball back at the second half, then we'll try to get points again. So that was the whole mindset of that. The thing I didn't want to do is give those guys the ball back. It happened to us. I think it happened to us last week. We ended up giving the team the ball back. And I don't want to put our guys in a situation like that again. So I think the smart thing to do was, man, can we run this clock all the way down? Can we get points? And then can we come back the second half and get points again?
Garrett seemed pretty upset when he was walking off the field at the end of the first half. Was that what it was about, and what did you talk to him? It seemed like he calmed down.
He's a competitive person. Who wouldn't be pissed when things are not going right, on the offensive side of the ball. So, you guys know how he is. That's not going to change. And I like that about him. When things are not going right, he gets pissed.
In the final 2-minute drive, you
Yep.
had just gotten the first down. Passing game wasn't going well all day. Did you think of running it on that first down? I think Justin got sacked on that.
Yeah, I think we were averaging like 3 yards a carry. Yes, I can easily say we can ran the ball. And that's always hindsight. But, man, we were trying to get ourselves in a position to where we can get to that 35, 40 and get a chance to give us a field goal in that situation.
Where was the line for the field goal there, AG? Is that, we're seeing.
Well, 35 for us.
So-
Yeah, 35 for us. I mean, I know our guy, he kicked a 58-yard. That was his career long. So, man, we can get to the 35. We felt like we were really good in that
Is
situation.
there any consideration there
On-
where you guys were? I think it would have been a
44.
Yeah, so it would have been.
I mean, yeah, that's tough. Again, we just said his line was 35, and we're talking about 9 yards
I just
back.
felt like if his career long was 58, which he
Yeah.
did this year.
58, and I think we was, I think it was with the wind and all that. So I just thought that was tough.
AG, I understand you probably want to watch the film,
Yep.
but Justin's numbers are not good for this game.
No.
Is he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you?
Come on, man. What kind of question is that?
Well, he did not have a good game. I mean, I think it's a fair question.
There's a number of guys that, I mean, sometimes this league is like this, and there are guys that have bad games. That doesn't mean you just bench them. Come on, you know better than that.
The struggles have been, I mean, you guys are 0-6 though. Like,
Yep.
This isn't, a team that's 2-3 or 3-3.
No doubt.
The quarterback has a bad game. And Justin's played a role in some of these offensive struggles.
No doubt.
With Rosen.
Everybody's played a role in that. So it's not just Justin. Because I understand where you guys are trying to take this. But listen, there's a number of other guys that, got to pick their game up too. So I don't want to sit there and pin this all on Justin.
The broadcast, the television broadcast
Yeah.
was showing a lot of plays where Justin had not been sacked yet.
Mhm.
Ball's in his hand and guys are open from
Yeah.
there.
Well, I gotta see it
don't know
on
where they
tape.
are in the reads, but
Yeah.
if he's not pulling the trigger,
Yeah.
you kind of owe it to the rest of the guys on offense to give a guy another chance to potentially to be the one to throw the ball. And to
Well, I don't see that, Sometimes we got to get him to operate a certain way. I mean, that happens to a lot of guys. You just can't sit there and say, oh, man, we're going to bench him because this. I thought some other games he's played well. So I'm not looking at this as just, man, he played a bad game, I'm going to bench him. I don't see it that way.
Last one.
Before the first game, you told us.
Yep.
Last 4 minutes of each half are the head coach.
Absolutely.
Last 4 minutes of the first half didn't go great for you guys today. Last 4 minutes didn't go great today.
Yeah.
Second half, obviously last week in Dallas, first half.
Yep.
How do you feel like you've done at those?
I think the decisions have been the correct decisions. Sometimes we just didn't execute it. And that's okay, just like today's decision was, man, I do not want to give this offense the ball back at the 49 with a timeout. I mean, with time on the clock. I don't think that's smart. And I think what we did, knowing we were going to get the ball back at the second half, man, let's keep it. Even on this one, we ended up moving the ball, fairly well. We just didn't get a chance to, those guys sending a whole lot of pressure and sacked our quarterback. So we didn't execute. I think, I didn't want to put a 45-yard field, or a 60-some-yard, 8-yard field goal, 65-yard field goal on our kicker, and he's never done that. And we set the line with the 35. So, listen, I do know this. I can improve in those situations too, though. I'm not going to sit there and just put on the players. That's on me also. A number of things. But we all have to work together to get better at those things too, though.
Thanks, everyone. Justin's coming in next.
All right. Okay.
Do we go out to them?
We'll just go walk around. Yep.
Questions?
Justin, what can you say just overall about the passing game today?
It wasn't good enough, and it starts with me. I got to get the ball out. They had a good D-line. They got to the backfield fast, and then once you get in that rhythm, you got to go 1-2 and get the hell up out of there. And I thought I was. That's kind of what we talked about on the sideline. Is just when we get a team that's getting that much pressure, that's getting to the backfield like that, 1-2, maybe 3 sometimes, and go. So it wasn't good enough though.
When you say you got to get the ball out, it's probably a silly question, but why weren't you?
I mean, most of them. I thought they did a good job on defense covering. Like I said, they have a good defense, and that's what it is. But like I said, it wasn't on all of them. I probably could have got the ball out on some, but I think most of the time they pretty much covered as well.
A couple of those sacks you took, you were a little slow getting up. I mean, how do you feel physically at that moment?
Solid.
How'd you feel about the final drive of the first half?
I need more. Like
When you guys ran out the clock instead of running the play, You know, I think there was an opportunity to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning, but.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is our thought was not let them, you know, in the half with the ball. We wanted to end the half with the ball, and you know, we were trying to, you know, play it like that. So that was kind of the goal right there.
Justin, the defense had a tough week last week, and they kind of were beating themselves up when we talked to them. They have a really good performance today. How tough is it for you guys not to have that complimentary football and kind of pick them up on every day like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, we have to play complimentary football. They had a hell of a game today, and offense has to do a better job, you know, complementing that. So, yeah, like I said, all in all, just we didn't have a good day on the offense side of the ball.
Justin, going into the game, I was speaking to Eric Coleman about the players who he thought could make an impact, and he said, what's it like to have former Jets players and legends of the game have so much respect for you?
It's awesome. Anytime you get, you know, respect from, you know, legends like that, it's awesome to hear it. And like I said, all in all, just today's game wasn't good enough for us. So, yeah.
0-6 now, Justin. How do you guys kind of just keep the faith and keep positive?
Got to keep going. I mean, there's no other option. There's 11 games left. So, like I said, you know, that's the only option. There's nothing else. It's to keep going. So, yeah.
Couple more?
Justin, it would have been a lot sweeter with a better performance and a win, but overall, how was your experience traveling over here and just the entire experience in
It was cool, bro. It was different for sure, but you know, glad I got to experience. It was my first time over here, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Justin.